Well, all right. Well, we are live and I am excited. I'm looking forward to what is coming up in literally just a couple of weeks. And I am honored to have somebody who is really just a dear friend. And you may have seen her many other times with me on other things, but I'm excited because tonight we get a chance to talk about something that is coming very, very soon. We've been talking about it. You may have been seeing information about it, but I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. I'm talking about Tamika Kelly and Hello Ruth, single, saved, and waiting on God, the Neshoba County Coliseum in Mississippi. I'll say that like 3 times and see how that turns out. But I'm excited about it. It's going to be awesome. And if you are in the area or if you are not in the area, you've got to get there. And so, Tamika, look, we got to talk about it and just kind of give them a
Yes.
little bit of information about what is going to be coming very, very soon.
I mean, we are so excited. Sharisa and myself are the founders of Hello Ruth Enterprises. And when I tell you the move of God happened here in Bessemer, Alabama, and we were just sent over to take this thing to Philadelphia, Mississippi. And when I tell you God is definitely going to show up and show out, he's going to do that. He's already given us confirmation. And even you, Sly, on what's going to be taking place, especially with our part with this conference, because there's going to be some straight up dialogue that's going to take place. Don't you agree?
Oh, I agree, and I think that that's what everybody is going to be in tune for. I think that one of the greatest things about what we're going to get a chance to do, and what this conference really is going to encompass, this is for everybody, and I mean this. No matter where you think you are in your life, no matter how old you may think or how much you think you have it together, you don't need a man, you don't need a woman, whatever you may think the case may be. This conference is absolutely where you need to be because we're going to literally peel back all the layers. It's not going to be a conversation that's going to be for those of you that are basically tender at heart, meaning we're not going to pull any punches. And I mean that with
Right.
all sincerity about this conference. And so, look, go ahead and access the tickets. It's on Eventbrite. You got to go ahead and do it. We're going to have a link up actually available for you while you get a chance to watch this, whether
Right.
you're watching it for the first time or you're getting a chance to watch it on the third and fourth or fifth time. But I am telling you, we're going to literally peel back all the layers and talk about some of the stuff that really and truly, honestly, people skate around when it comes to conversation
They really
about
do.
relationships and everything else. And that's the truth to me. I think that that's the biggest thing that you and I have really talked about so much is that so many people have skated around some of the serious conversations and they have kind of taken a side road to get to really what's really going on. And
Mm,
that's what this conference is
yeah.
really going to get into. I mean, the stuff that we all know is going on, the stuff that we all know is happening, but we're going to sit back and talk about it and really, really, really break it down and say, hey, listen, we've been there or we know what's going on and let's talk about it, And I think that that's what this conference is going to bring to the table. And so I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm honored to be on the panel. You and Sarisa have done a tremendous job on
So
doing this. And so I'm truly honored that you guys have brought me in to be a part of it. And so big kudos to you as
oh,
well for what you guys are doing. So
we know, you know what? We appreciate you. We know it's nothing but God because He's the one that orchestrated it from the beginning. And the thing is that I'm already starting to get comments and questions, whether it's on Facebook or even on Instagram, about our parts live that we're going to be playing with this conference. There's some women, and I've had a couple of men even inbox me asking, what do I do in my marriage? Well, what they don't understand is like you and I both, between you and I, we got enough credentials to talk about every aspect of relationships, whether it's
absolutely.
marriage, business, divorce, you name it, we have gone through it. And we're
Yep.
we're here just to kind of, like Sly said, peel back the layers and actually help you break free of the bondage that's created in relationships, and reminding you the number one relationship that you need to be focusing on, especially if you're single, is your relationship with God. And that is
Yep.
one of the key things that we're going to be pushing at this conference.
Absolutely. And I think you said it better than you could ever say it when it comes to that. We're going to talk about it and actually be able to give you all the conversation about it. I know you may say, well, Sly, you ain't been through this and you don't know any of my story. Okay. You may say, well, Tamika, you don't know what I'm going through. And that's not the case. And so we're not speaking from just us saying it just to sound like something sounds good. No, we're saying this stuff from experiences or things we go through and really know that our story and the things that we have to share are able to really help some people become delivered and be free. I think you said that very clear. I think the biggest thing that we see so often, we're going to talk about this at the conference, is that there are so many people who have never been free and been able to move past so many things from their past. And so what they
Yeah.
have done is they've carried one thing from another to another, and they've taught all that baggage into every relationship. And then they wonder why they continue to have problems and so
Right.
many issues, and they never have really settled the main issue that may have been something that's plagued them from 5 years ago or even longer. And so, you've got to deal with those core issues. And
Mhm.
truthfully, a lot of those core issues in a lot of cases are things that really end up dealing where they start with yourself. And so,
That's
a
right.
lot of those things are serious conversations, but at the same time, we're going to really sit back and talk about it and say, hey, look, it is what it is. This is what it is, and let's deal with it. No sugarcoating it, no acting like,
No
hey,
sugarcoating it.
we're not going to act like we're in some church facility where we're going to, skate the line on that. And I'm not saying it's going to be just all the way to the left, but what I am saying is what
Right.
the biggest issue that you run into is there's never real dialogue and conversation. And so
Oh, and honesty and transparency too,
that's
Slime.
it.
Because one of the things that I know that people tend to experience is that, judgment. People passing judgment on them. Oh, you shouldn't have done that, da 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 da. Well, no, that's not what we're here for. We're here to actually let you know we've been there, done that. Look where God is. God can do it with us, through us. Then what can He do through you?
Absolutely. And I think that that's the biggest piece about that is
Yeah.
that don't look at your situation as feeling like that's the
Mhm.
end of the road, or
Right.
there's not an opportunity for things to move in a better direction, or you feel like that, I've done so many things that are really in my past that I don't want a lot of people to know about, or that have been very hurtful or painful. And the only way for you to move forward and really grow and be who you need to be is in order for you to allow yourself to find that level of freedom and just really deal with the situations head on, and realize that sometimes one of the best things you can do is take that time and not worry about being with anybody else, but
Yeah.
really take that time to focus on your relationship with God. And I think that that's the biggest area that we talk about so often, is that one of the
Absolutely.
things we're going to get into as well, Tamika, is the conversation about there's so many people who have really never got to the point of knowing what it is that they like and what it is that really kind of is their thing. It's like,
Mhm.
you ask them, well, what do you like to do for fun? Or what is it that you like to do? Or what is it, those things that,
Answer.
and they have no answer, and it's
Right.
like, okay, you don't even know yourself. So you can't bring two incomplete people into a relationship and then try to
Yes.
figure out how it's going to work, because one
I-
person is going to cleave and cling to the other person more so. And if that person is not around, they have nothing, because they have basically built their life into the person that they're with. And so we're going to get into that conversation
Mhm.
and a lot more. I'm not going to give you all of that right now. I'm not
No,
going to even
'cause we
go there.
can't do that. We can't
No,
do that. But
but
what
we,
I do want them to understand, though, is that the balance is definitely going to be there. Ladies, get ready for some straight talk from Sly. Believe you me, I got your back. I'm gonna hold it down because I know at times he can come off a bit abrupt. But the truth of the matter is that we as women need to know what a man is thinking. And sometimes books isn't going to always give us those answers. We need straight dialogue from a man. And hey, fellas, I'm here to let you know the inside of a woman's thoughts. And trust me, you need all the help that you can get to as well. So
yes,
that's why we're
yes.
here,
Yeah,
to help balance and to let everyone know that, hey, we've been there, done that.
absolutely. And I think you said it really well, is that, fellas, look, I always wonder why there's not a lot of men at conferences like this, because
Right?
I'm thinking to myself, for first off, if I'm just going to be very honest, if you're a man and you're single and this is a conference, there's a good chance the ratio for you is going to be absolutely where you are winning. Okay, so out the gate, you already know you're going to be in the minority as it relates to male to
Right.
female ratio. So you got to be there for that. Secondly, honestly, you really need to hear what women are really talking about and what they really think as it relates to, their relationships and how they really view a lot of things. And I think
Yeah.
really too, for women, you really need to hear an honest 1000% man's point of view. There's no question about the level of manhood here as it relates to myself. And I'm not saying that in a bragging sense. I'm just telling you that's how I was raised. That's how it is. and there's no way I can steer from something that I know that's how I am, and that's really how all men have been created. And so when it comes to that position, we're able to really just shoot it straight to the point and say, hey, look, this is what it is. This is what's going on. Now, no, our answers are not going to be fitting for everybody, meaning we don't have the solution for all. But what we can do is generate real dialogue and real conversation, so all of us can talk about these issues and say, okay, here's what we need to really look at and work on. Or the story that may be dealing with something else that somebody else is going through, really, honestly, even if you don't say anything, might be exactly what you're dealing with. So I want to encourage you, do not miss this. September 16th, the Neshoba, see, I told you, can't say it like 5 times. Yeah, but yeah, the Neshoba Coliseum in Mississippi, and I'm telling you, I cannot wait for that. September 16th. Go ahead and go to eventbrite.com. Okay, just search for Single Saved and Waiting on God. You can go ahead and do that. We'll have a link available for you to actually click on that. Go ahead and get your tickets. Make your trip on over to Mississippi. It is going to be fantastic. We have a great group of people that are going to be with us, not only just ourselves on the panel, because, you know, hey, we're not the only party that's going to be there, okay? But we have Pastor Marcus Gill that's going to be there. Looking forward to him. And so many other things. And so, you know, Tamika, I want to make sure that everybody knows it's so important that sometimes you do some things that you really should be doing more of, and that's investing into yourself. And that means this may be something that you can take just for that weekend, come on over, you know, get an opportunity to get away and really dive into this and just allow yourself to be in a position where, you know, we're not coming to be judgmental, but we're going to also be coming to say, hey, look, this is what's really going on, and this is what we see. And things have shifted as it relates to dating and all these other kind of things. So we have to talk about that, right? You know, those are serious pieces of conversation, you know, that have changed. And so I am really excited about the opportunity for that as well. So again, yeah, it's going to be great. Neshoba Coliseum in Mississippi, going to be great. September 16th, Neshoba County Coliseum, that is, and tickets are available at eventbrite.com. You got to go ahead and get them and be there. Hey, girls, fellas, drive on over, man. Look, it's not that far. I mean, really. We go everywhere else. We do everything else. And this is one of those times where if you ever really want to try to figure out what the conversation is that we've been talking about, and you've heard so many people say so many things about, you know, Hello Ruth and Single Saved and Waiting on God, but this is what this is. And it's going to be tremendous. So I am really looking forward to seeing you there. So if you are watching this for the first time, or this is like your 50th time, great. That means by now you should have bought like maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 tickets, right? Let somebody else. There you go. There you go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're so excited, you guys, to see you guys there at Single Save and Waiting on God. Sharisa Taylor is going to be a phenomenal speaker that we're going to have as well, tell her story, as well as Pastor Marcus Gill as well. And you get to see me and Sly go back and forth.
Yep.
Because we're going to do that. It's going to be fun. It's not going to be too intense, but we do have a word for you guys, because it's all about freedom, right?
Absolutely. It's all about freedom. It's all about being set free. And I really believe a lot of the conversations, a lot of things that we're going to talk about are going to help catapult some people into freedom. Because as we have talked about in so many other occasions and opportunities, and you'll hear us say this at the conference, the basic foundational principle is your relationship with God and knowing who you are and whose you are. If you don't have that first, all the other stuff and trying to say, I want to get married and all the other kind of stuff, you just said it. It doesn't matter. It's not even as important, because your foundation is not right. And so you can't expect to build a healthy foundation of a relationship or anything further than that if you haven't developed a solid foundation that said, okay, my life is in Christ's hands. I've given my life over to Christ. I'm really under his submission. And then also knowing who Christ says I am, and my identity is found in him. And that's how you really discover who you really are. And as you do that,
Sly, you're giving the meat and potatoes. Don't do it, bro.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But I just want you to understand the importance of being there. Okay. And how important this conversation is. And so how excited we are to have you there again. And so we're going to repeat it, the date, the location, the time, and where you can get the tickets. Neshoba County Coliseum in Mississippi, Philadelphia, Mississippi, that is. Okay. Google it, search for it.
Come on.
September 16th, 6 p.m. Eventbrite.com. Search for Single Saved and Waiting on God. Get your tickets. Okay. And you know what? Go ahead and tell them how much the tickets are, because I don't want anybody to say, well, you didn't say how much the tickets were and all this other kind of stuff. So If you want to tell them that, that's fine too.
Yes, yes. Right now, if you get them right now, they're 20. Later, they're going up to 25. So go ahead, get your tickets like right now, like today.
Right,
Watching
right,
it, just go ahead. Just go ahead and get it.
right. So click down below. There'll be
Right.
something there. You click down there and go ahead and get your tickets. So, from myself and Tamika and everybody else with Hello Ruth, Single Save, Waiting on God, Friday, September 16th, the
Yes.
Neshoba County Coliseum, Philadelphia, Mississippi, eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. It is going to be absolutely fantastic. We're going to see you there, and I am looking forward to it. So God bless you all. We'll see you on September 16th. Okay?